Hello everyone. This is going to be the introduction to my channel, as well as later I'll be discussing the future of the channel. It's good news, so no worries there. My name is Eric, real life, and you can call me Blade Walker, as that's my online persona, as it were. And I live in the state of Missouri in the United States. I'm 45 years old. I am disabled. It's a mental disability. I have no physical disabilities. I'm a little overweight, of course, but it is a numerous bunch of things, but primarily it's a bunch of anxiety disorders. I don't do well with people out and about. I rarely leave the house, stuff like that. Anyway, uh, yeah, I pretty much do 7 days content. I do have a second channel, but I rarely ever use it. I want to get back onto it, but this channel is primarily 7 days and always will be. I have done some other content. I try to keep content on this channel themed around survival slash survival horror, that kind of stuff. So 7 days is the main thing. I do some Minecraft. Lately I've been doing a little bit of Brotato, which doesn't really fit the theme, but I just really enjoy it. Let's see what else. I've done like Silent Hill, Dead Space, a couple other games, Resident Evil, good stuff. Anyway, that's the information about me. I'm a pretty average, boring person in real life, but I really have been enjoying doing this. I do this as a hobby. I'm not doing this to as a job. I would love to, just like most people, but as I've said many times, I don't have broad appeal. Some people do, some people don't. Anyway, I think that should serve as a sufficient introduction. So from this point on, I'm going to be discussing the future of the channel and primarily where I've been the past 8 or so months for the most part, and how that's affected my life as well as the future of the channel. So if that's all you really care to hear, you don't want to hear about real life stuff, I got lots of content over like now 1,500 videos, so feel free to watch all you want. All right, so the real stuff. This kind of sucks. Some people don't like to hear about real life stuff, and I don't like to talk about it per se, but at the same time, can't help myself. I admit it. Kind of a hypocrite in that way. I'm sorry. Anyway, so for those that have been keeping up and such, I've been living with my brother since our parents passed away. I have two older brothers. I'm the youngest of three. And my eldest brother and I have been living together since our parents passed in 2010. And he's been very, very sick his whole life. Well, not very sick, but the last several years he got deathly ill. He ended up being on dialysis about 3 years ago, probably, maybe 2, 3 years ago. And he passed away in the hospital back in November of 24. So about 8 months ago at this point. It's July 8th, 25. So that obviously was soul crushing. It wasn't unexpected. He was extremely sick. For his quality of life was negative. He wanted to die every day, and basically he just one day he fell and he couldn't get up off the floor. We ended up having to call the ambulance again. We called them so much in the last couple of months before he died that they knew us very well. They took him to the hospital, and his wife, that I also lived with, his my sister in law, she said he was very combative. He was really agitated at the time, understandably. And basically, the next day, he just kind of had a heart attack and never woke up. So that was very rough. And for a couple of months, didn't know where I was going to live, because the reason I lived with him is because I'm on disability myself because of my issues, and I can't take care of myself. I just can't. So uh, didn't know where I was going to do. Was worried I was going to be living in my car. And my other brother is. It's not that we don't get along or anything. It's just he's got his own life. He's got his own kids and mortgage, and he just doesn't have the space to take care of me. So because I've had a couple of, well, why don't your brother? It's not that he can't. I mean, if things came to it, he probably would find a way. But for now, my sister-in-law, we're making do. It's been rough, but we're okay. Now, that said, uh, because of my severe crippling anxiety, depression, and such, the anxiety is multiple anxiety disorders. But I don't do well around people, and I'm also an extreme introvert. And I know that sounds odd for somebody that posts on YouTube, and I even do stream. I think I've got like 600 streams on. It's pretty crazy. Didn't realize it was that many until I checked like a year ago. It was crazy. Anyway, so I've been really battling that, the depression, anxiety of not knowing what I'm going to do in the future and all that stuff. And then since January, the government's been just messing with me, and I've had just endless issues with getting my medications. About a month after my brother's passing in December of last year, I the depression finally got me, and I basically went on the non-alcoholic version of a bender, and I am this pretty I'm a pretty severe diabetic, and I've never cared because I just don't care. I'm single, I'm alone, I'll never have anything, and pretty much everybody in my family's passed. There's nobody left. My other brother and I are pretty much the only ones left. So I kind of lost the will to keep going, and for like 2 weeks, I mean, I went nuts in early December, late November, early December. I was drinking cases of soda and just junk food, and candy and shot. I just didn't give a shit. I didn't care. And basically, I woke up one morning and I started throwing up, and it didn't stop. And after about 22 hours of every like 30 minutes throwing up, I couldn't drink anymore. My throat closed up, and couldn't eat, couldn't drink, and I couldn't talk without throwing up. So, I in the hospital for about 3.5 days. And they basically told me that the depression, etc., combined with the junk food bender, spiked my blood sugar to a point that I basically hit the brick wall. I finally hit it. And so from that point on, I reluctantly started taking insulin. I'm now infinitely healthier than I've ever been in my last 20 years or something. So I'm trying to be a good boy, taking care of myself. Not so much because I want to, as it were. I know that sounds kind of silly, but it's because I just don't want to go back to the hospital. Anyway, so after that happened, uh, in mid-December, I started taking care of myself after I got out of the hospital. But then in January, again, I have no idea why, but it's since January I've been having insane issues trying to get my insulin refilled, and just, oh my god, I could talk for hours on the issues I've had. But fortunately now, still having issues, but things are much better. Now, since my brother's passing, he was very supportive of my YouTube channel because I've always, like I said, I am an extremely introverted person. I don't like going outside. I don't even like talking to people on the phone. And doing so for any sort of time really drains me mentally a lot. And so that's why primarily I do the pre-recorded videos, because I don't have to actually talk to anybody, interact with anyone. And I do love streaming, but because of the anxiety, my multiple disorders and such, when I like have a doctor's appointment in real life, I can't sleep for like the day or two before it because I'm so anxious about having to go to the doctor's appointment. Now, like, I can go out of the house and like go get food or something, go shopping for the most part. It's not too bad, but it's because I don't really have to interact with anyone, especially now with self checkout and stuff. I can do a drive through like for food or something, like, hey, here's the money, and then I don't really. It's not much interaction, but I do love to stream. But the problem is that is interacting with people sometimes, and it does wear me out a lot. And because of the anxiety of it, I just cannot set a time for streaming. That's why I don't have a schedule, and it's also why streaming isn't my main thing. I know I'm rambling, and people are complaining about it. I'm sorry. For somebody that's introverted, when I talk a lot. It's weird. Uh, yeah. So that's basically what that covers that part. So since my brother's passing, with all the stuff going on, and then my health and then stuff, and I'm now realizing I'm the only one left pretty much other than my thing. I don't hate my sister-in-law. I like my sister-in-law. I've been living with her and everything. She's cool. She's not one of those like sister-in-law, family, what we call in-laws from hell. She's great. We all have our issues, so we're doing okay. But I've been wanting to play other games for years, and I've because of all the issues, I've lost interest. And so, for the last couple of months, I've actually been off and on playing other games. I've really been wanting to stream them, but since my channel is primarily 7 days, and some people don't mind, some of you guys haven't minded, some of you really don't like it, which I get. Well, with 2.0 of 7 Days to Die coming out, I had planned to go back to daily videos for like 2 or 3 months, and then back to the 3 days a week, which I've now permanently switched to. But I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm just not feeling it. It's not that I'm tired of the game. I'm not bored with the game. I just, since real life issues are still ongoing and never will change, and the depression, I'm just not feeling it. And I could force myself to do daily videos and such, but that just feels disingenuous. I just don't want to do it. And I'm sorry. I know I say it all the time. I'm a broken record. Sorry about that, but I'm just being honest with you. So as of today, I am going to start a new series, which is 2 weeks after, a week and a half after. Well, a couple of weeks. Actually, no, it's almost a month. Ugh. So I kept promising you guys I'd go back to daily content with 2.0 experimental, which was like mid-June, something like that. I don't remember. It hasn't been that long, but my memory isn't very good. And so that kind of, it is what it is. So I'm going to start doing videos again. I'm about to start a new series here, so you can look forward to that. I am not going to do the daily videos probably ever again. I just, it's nothing to do with the game. It's just life. So I intend for now to do, at least for the immediate future, I'm going to do 3 videos a week again. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, as I've pretty much always done. And it will, of course, be 7 days. I will continue to stream, live stream series of 7 days. And I do intend to do other games, again, not pre-recorded. The pre-recorded is pretty much only ever going to be 7 days. But I do intend to do some live streams of other games. Like I said, I've really been enjoying Brotato. There's another game called Cubic Odyssey, which is apparently like a No Man's Sky crosses Minecraft, which looks really interesting. And there's a couple other games. So I hope you guys can look forward to that. Now, with that said, as far as this future, the total, the deep, distant future, I do intend to do this at the moment until I die, but now I'm only 45, so hopefully for a very long time. So I think that's it. Good God, I don't know how long this video is, but I bet you it's probably been like an hour. Doesn't feel like it's been, but anyway. So I'm trying to think if that's everything I wanted to discuss. I think so. Yeah, I think we're good. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them either on this video or on future videos that I'm going to record for 7 days. But with that said, I think that'll do it. Just wanted to give you guys an update, and again, it's a positive one, as well as finally make an intro video for the channel. I would like to expand the channel a little bit. I'd like to do things eventually, like I wouldn't mind doing a server for 7 days, but that does cost money, and I'm a poor man, so you never know. We'll see. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the explanation and appreciate me being honest with you. Like I said, as much as I hate to say it, I do want to keep going, and I will, but I'm just not feeling the daily thing anymore. I just don't want to do it. It's partially just because of laziness. I admit I'm a lazy guy, but also I just don't want to do it. I couldn't really give you a reason. I just don't want to. But I do want to play, and I do want to do content. I just don't have it in me. I think at least at the moment, and to be honest, probably never again to do the daily content. So I will. From this day on, you guys can finally look forward to more content, or I should say regular, consistent content, instead of the random once every week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks of a stream. Yeah, so if you guys did enjoy the video, feel free to let me know what you think, and of course, as always, I will see you all in the next stream or video. So, hope you all have a good day. See you in the next one.